Very good afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely thankful to Father George and Dr. Namshad for the kind invitation for this very exciting meeting. Today, dear colleagues, I'm going to talk about science and society, briefly followed by a real discussion. Science creates a lot of new knowledge. And dear friends, this knowledge that we create from science to be utilized for society development. That's the core of my talk. If you look at science, you all know that science is nothing but the systematic pursuit of knowledge through experimentation. Some of my colleagues do excellent science to theory, modeling, simulation. They don't do much of experimentation in their laboratory. And the society, what is society? The organized community that we sharing knowledge, culture, institutions, and values. I'm going to tell you how scientific pursuit would be utilized for society development. How science and society shape each other. You can see the balance, They have to really balance the science and society. And science really shapes society. And let me tell you, one societal implication is science. All scientists, including me, we do research from the taxpayers' money. Science provides, society provides money and resources for scientists, basically from the taxes. And society always indicates the real world problems. I take a lot of problems from the society and somebody has a research proposal. Many of my research proposals are problems to society. And look at what science teaches society. Science provides lots of possibilities. Healthcare, your quality of life, your communication network, your connectivity, the economic development. Then if you combine science and society together, my previous speakers spoke about green development, green technologies, sustainable development, inclusive development, sharing of knowledge. Now I have a slide here, balancing innovation and responsibility. Innovation, you all know, innovation is a driver for progress. And we see that this innovation, the new development that we do, should not hamper our environment. And we need to have very strong regulations and policies to protect our ecosystem. Global collaboration is extremely important. If you trace the history of science, history of society and science, we should start with Mesopotamian history, ancient Egyptian history, ancient Greek history, the big contribution from India, the Indus Valley civilization, ancient China. And if you look at the key figures for transforming our society, starts from Isaac Newton. What is that? He's a great chemist, the inventor of oxygen. Carl Linnaeus, Galileo, great astronomers, astronomy and physics. He invented the telescope. Shacklet translated Newton's principles, and energy insights, gave us a lot of energy insights. Coming to scientific revolutions, I have a few important points here. We start with Copernican contribution, the Copernicus. It is a revolutionary, astronomy revolution. Then we have this real scientific revolution starting in 16th and 17th century. We have the Industrial Revolution, lots of mechanization and social and economic development. Then we have the Darwinian revolution, evolution of natural selection. And today, dear colleagues, we have the quantum technology. Dear friends, we are living in a digital technology, digital era, information technology era. And what are the key drivers? The computer, the internet, AI, biotechnology, nanotechnology, a variety of advanced materials. And if you look at the impact on society, the remarkable impact of science in society, look at information communication, industrial automation. Last week, a couple of weeks back, I was in China for a meeting, and I visited some of the Chinese companies, and I could see many of the manufacturing processes are being automated. Robots are there. I visited a big company manufacturing of automobiles in China under the India-China Cooperation Program, and many of the jobs are done by robots. Robots in a big way. Automation is in a big way in many companies. Look at healthcare and biotechnology. Coming to again digital revolution, if you look at digital revolution in India, we have a slogan, Digital India. And we are trying to make everything digitized for the rapid growth. Now, if you look at the science in action, science made remarkable contribution towards health and medicine. Look at our life expectancy, remarkable increase in life expectancy. Look at the communication network, the smartphone, internet, AI, transportation sector, driverless car, lot of technology development, agriculture and food safety, food security, energy. My speakers talk about renewable energy for a lot. The convenience of daily life, access to information, scientific literacy, a lot of contributions from the science. And dear colleagues, the knowledge of science should be utilized for financial well-being, innovation-driven economy, industrial growth, cost reduction, healthcare savings, global trade and markets, entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem. If you look at Kerala has a very active startup ecosystem, entrepreneurial ecosystem. That drives the economy. So many countries where science is being utilized to make a knowledge economy. I have a slide here, science and society. Science shapes society through technology. Science made remarkable contribution to healthcare, remarkable contribution to industrial development, remarkable contribution to communication process. And dear friends, society influences science by setting priorities, funding research, inclusiveness, ethical issues. All these aspects have been taken care of in society. Now, let me show you a slide, science and society, what are the career opportunities, job potentialities. Look at research and development, universities, industry. They provide lots of possibilities for job. Healthcare and biotechnology, diagnostics, public health, startup ecosystem. Environment and sustainability, climate, renewable energy, waste management, there are great opportunities all over the world. Education, communication, data and technology, data science, lab automation, scientific software. So dear friends and colleagues, science transforms society and opens diverse career paths, remarkable possibilities for career path. Now, let me also show you society's contribution to science. What are the contributions of society to science? Funding and infrastructure is provided by the society, taxes, grants of institutions, research laboratory, and society frames the policy and governance. Society contributes to its cultural education. Society provides cooperation demands. Society lays the ethics and values. I have a slide here, the role of citizen science. One matter is democratization of science is very important. Science should be for all. Science should be for masses. Boost awareness, funds and innovation. Now on the slide here, how science influences individuals. Let us take the first case, health and well-being, modern medicine, vaccines, diagnostic tools, education and knowledge. Science play a very important role. Environmental sustainability, daily lifestyle, technology, smartphones, work and economy, ethical values. Now let me show you a slide, awareness of science in society, scientific literacy is very important. Science has to play a very important role for scientific literacy. Public engagement, health and safety awareness, digital and medical influence. When you look at the scientific literacy, dear colleagues, there are several parameters. Understanding of science, critical thinking is extremely important, decision-making process, public engagement. We also have to be careful about the pseudoscience. We have to prevent the spread of pseudoscience. Everything has to be analyzed through scientific temper. So the beliefs, practices, or claims perceived as scientific but lacking evidence or logical reasoning and scientific method has to be looked into very carefully. So pseudoscience one has to look at very carefully. This slide you can see science for sustainable development. My previous colleague talked about the importance of science for sustainable development. Science provides innovative solutions and environmental protection. Promote renewable energy in a very big way. Sustainable agriculture, sustainable transportation, eco-friendly materials, advanced materials that we use to be eco-friendly. And I have a few noted impact on society, balanced growth, sustainable development, technology for all. If you look at some of the recent development in India, we have 5 examples in India. For example, the renewable energy park in Gujarat, Mysore Sustainable City Initiative. These are some of the nice examples from the government of India, smart cities mission of government of India. In Sikkim, statewide sustainability. Sikkim is a fantastic country where statewide sustainability has been implemented in a big way. Dear friends, science-driven societies building social equity for a greener tomorrow. That's extremely important. Environmental concerns of science, industrialization, pollution, these are very important points. Ethical challenge, resource depletion, nuclear and chemical risk, these are all some of the important challenges of science. Dear friends, the environment has to be preserved. That's extremely important. We have to understand the impact of science on the environment. We have to empower the communities. We had a COVID pandemic for about 3 to 4 years. And during COVID pandemic, you all must have noticed that scientists all over the world worked together to find out a vaccine, and we could find a vaccine quickly. And we found a global collaboration, irrespective of nationalities, irrespective of countries, irrespective of culture. We all work together to find a vaccine. Of course, we have a lot of challenges of vaccine. Dear friends, I have a slide here, artificial intelligence and human future. Artificial intelligence provides lots of possibilities. AI is revolutionizing healthcare. AI is revolutionizing education. AI is revolutionizing our financial sector. AI is revolutionizing transportation sector. But dear friends, we also have to be careful about AI. AI is disadvantages, data bias, lack of human touch, misinterpretation of data. These are some of the bad issues of AI. I have a slide here. Let humanity be the master of AI. I have a slide here. Humanity should be the master of AI. Never allow AI to master humanity. That's extremely important. Future of science and human civilization. The key drivers: artificial intelligence, automation, biotechnology. They are all key drivers, and they provide lots of opportunities. The cure for major diseases, human settlement beyond Earth, sustainable food and water security, global knowledge connectivity, and your friends, we have several challenges, ethical issues, climate change, inequality, misuse of technology. These are some of the major challenges. We also see the misuse of science. The best example is the Hiroshima tragedy. It's a big example of the misuse of science. Let me also quote Frederick Lewis' words: science without humanity is one of the 7 deadly social sins. That's what Frederick said. Science without humanity is one of the 7 deadly social sins. There are a lot of applications of nuclear science. If you look at nuclear fission, provides lots of possibilities for medical technology, national energy security aspect, agriculture and food, clean energy generation. So nuclear science provides lots of possibilities. Science in communication media, tremendous possibilities for science in communication media. Science in transportation and mobility, driverless vehicle, fast trains, efficient highway. These are all contribution of science towards transportation and mobility. Science, the pulse of health society. Science contributes towards medicine, development of new vaccines, disease prevention, nutrition and wellness, health technology, environmental protection. This slide indicates what we all have to take as well. Science for all, science for humanity, bridging gaps, empowering society, equal access to knowledge, inclusive innovation, technology and equity. These are some of the important points for science for all. Now let me also quote Isaac Asimov's word: the saddest aspect of life, the saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. Science and space exploration and social impact. There's a remarkable influence of space exploration and social impact, communication, climate monitoring, jobs and economy, education, science, technology, engineering, global cooperation, cultural imagination. There's a great influence of, the space exploration and the social impact. Science as a bridge between nations. Science should start as a sort of bridge between nations. Global challenge requires collaboration, international cooperative movements. European Union is doing a wonderful work. A couple of weeks back, we submitted, huge major projects connecting many countries in India, many countries. In Europe and India, we submitted 2 major projects. That really brings different nations together. The project on hydrogen production, where my laboratory in Mahatma Gandhi University and many laboratories in India, collaborating with the European countries, development of hydrogen is going to be a new fuel. Science and arts for social progress. Dear friends, look at the art inspires technology design, VR, AI, animation. So science and arts have tremendous influence on social progress. I have a slide here. How science shaping society. Look at physics, chemistry, computer science, engineering, biology, environmental sciences, mathematical sciences, social sciences. They all have to work together. That's the beauty of interdisciplinary science, where we have to break the barriers and we all have to work together for social uplift. Science is protecting us from different disasters, earthquake, volcano, tsunami, flood. We are able to predict in advance wildlife destruction, landslide. Science is giving answers to all the social calamities. Let me also tell you the leaders of science progress: Albert Einstein, theory of relativity; Marie Curie, radioactivity; Isaac Newton, laws of motion; Louis Pasteur, game theory; Nikola Tesla, the magnetic field; Rosalind Franklin, X-ray crystallography; Galileo, telescope; Charles Darwin, theory of evolution. They are the trailblazers of progress. Now, to conclude, what I want to say is, dear friends, science provides new knowledge to solve issues in society. And science and society should work together to promote cultural values, to promote economic development, to solve the ethical issues. And ethical conservation, equity, inclusiveness always should remain central to ensuring broad societal benefit. And I also say that science and society should be driven by the principles of equality, principles of social justice, principles of secularism, principles of sustainability, principles of diversity, principles of accessibility and excellence. And I also make a statement: science and technology in society work together. The fields of science and technology in society should work together. And we should strengthen the interdisciplinary field of science, technology,